Time for the update with whatever news, whatever factoids we can squeeze out of these guys from American Pinball. I'll turn it over to David Fix and he'll introduce the rest. Dave?
Thank you. Put that up there. Well, hey, I love being here at Pintastic, and so if you guys don't know who these guys are sitting next to me, let me know. But we'll make some introduction here. So one of our newest junior game designers, as everybody knows from the Sonic era, of course, Ryan McQuaid.
Era.
So give a nice little applause for Ryan.
All the 90s are mine. All whole era.
Yeah. And then we have, of course, my good friend Steve Bowden, who we brought out of the doldrums of Voldemort, is what we've been calling it. And we're so happy to have him on the team as well. We're continuing. So I know you guys have been watching American Pinball for the last year or so. We've been growing leaps and bounds. And I know last year at Expo we released the week before Legends of Valhalla. Then we had an open house. And due to some circumstances, we weren't able to, those people who weren't traveling didn't get to go and see the factory. So for a special treat, we had it made yesterday. I'm going to take you into the American Pinball Factory right now. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is the first time ever to watch it. Derek, if you have it, let's cue it up. And let's take everybody to Palatine, Illinois, to the American Pinball Factory. And here's a little tour. One of the nice things here at American Pinball, if you see a little bit off into the corner, you'll also notice that we have American Pinball Studios. So Jeff, go ahead and pan just ever so slightly over there, just to see where some of the stuff is happening. Not too much. That's where the magic.
So right now, what are you working on, Ryan? You're calibrating these 3D printers?
Yep, I just finished rebuilding the extruder on this one, and now I'm calibrating the XYZ so that we can resume printing more barrels for Oktoberfest.
Excellent.
So here we're going to see a little area called subassembly. In here is where we put a lot of our subassemblies together. Go ahead, Jeff. Show the people the nice things that go on. So we're here with Natalie, our QC expert. And also, Natalie, you're not just a QC, you've also went to school for what?
Mechanical engineering.
So we have some more modes that we're continuing to expand here at American Pinball. Mechanical engineering and somebody who is QC is a very important person in this company. All right, so we're now down in the playfields section. Here are all our beautiful playfields already being built, and one of our greatest employees is Matt. So let's spin over here to see Matt. We're going to talk about him for a few seconds. There he is.
So this is actually where everything starts. When we get the playfields in, we quality control them, and then wood rails go on, T-nuts go on, and this is where all the posts and everything else get their foundation to have the ability to get put on the board later on down the line. So.
Excellent.
Matt makes sure he goes through these playfields particularly. And if there's any mark or anything blemished or anything wrong with the clear coat of the playfield, he rejects it and we put it off into the pile. So as you see, the playfields come off of this little area here. and they go through, and Bob will put them on, and then he will work through the stations with everybody all the way down the line. Now look at this. Isn't this a beautiful line of Legends of Valhalla for everybody to see? Just pan down that way, Jeff. You just pan down. You can see all those beautiful Legends of Valhalla just working their way down the line and getting ready for it. Okay, we can see Remy here. She's working right now on our play fields. As you can see, it rotates, and as you can, makes it easier for the employees to work through all the stations. These are our Oktoberfests running right down the line. Pretty slick. So we're here in final tests of playfields. So the playfields will come down here, they'll get put into this area. We hook them up to the game and we go through all the testings of switches and wires and double checking. Deepak's been our man since the very beginning of Houdini back in 2015. So that was filmed last week, and then I had the cutting crew. Jeff Oler, let's give him a round of applause. He's probably watching. Jeff, you did a nice job as always. We'll be putting this video and other videos that Jeff is now working with us at American Pinball online shortly, so that everybody can have some fun with that, and see that we are producing quite regularly a lot of games. Oktoberfest is currently on the line with Legends of Valhalla. So both of them are going right through quite nicely. After Oktoberfest is done, then Houdini will be going back on the line. Then Hot Wheels after that. And the one other surprise that we've been talking about everybody about is that it's been ordered, and in the next couple weeks, line 3 will be installed. So there will be 3 production lines for the games at American Pinball. And somewhere in all of that, we may have another game this year. We're working hard on that because we continuously bringing something new to the products and so forth. So I wanted to give you guys a little understanding that we might not be super fast sometimes. If you ordered games, you're like, where's my game? We're getting it to you. But we're taking the time to make sure you get the quality that you deserve. Okay, I've been a collector and I've told this to many people, I've been a collector for over 20 years. I have over 100 machines myself, and I want to have good quality stuff. I'm putting my money in it. I want to have something good that I want to put my hat on. And that's my reputation and the reputation of American Pinball. And also, we make good quality games to the point that I get a phone call from our service tech rep all the time saying, phone's been quiet, boss. You got other projects for me? Because I need other work because we're building them too good. So we have some more surprises that we're going to be coming out over the next couple months, where we're going to continue to develop the American Pinball brand and quality. And having Ryan on board has been fun too, because he's keeping everybody awake up in the labs too, so it's been good.
Yes, he does.
And then he's not just, he does that, but then he also gets in a little competition with Steve, so it's been pretty fun to see that. Steve, is there some special announcement you want to make about the Legends of Valhalla here at Pintastic?
Not at this moment, because it's not actually in there.
It's not in there.
It's not in there. But
Really?
I have the key. It's not in there. Yeah.
Okay, but it's been out on test.
Right. So, but I could put it in there after this is over, but it's not.
Why
it's
not?
in there. All right. So I'll do
What
that.
is
Well, the updated beta code with better scoring for War on Land, finally, and other modes which we felt needed some help. So that's going to go on. And so I guess for the next few hours will be a test to see if it passes Pintastic, just like if it passed Texas, new update. If it passes Pintastic, then we'll release it. It'll become the new public update. So this is going to be the new testing ground. So try to break it.
Yeah, if any of you want to put beta tester on your resume,
Right.
go ahead out there and test the code out.
Yeah.
Try
If
to
you
break
break
it
it,
today.
tell us.
Right. Please
So-
try to break it today.
You gonna give key change to the people who break the game?
Yeah, well, yeah, if you go on, yes. No, I don't want him to break the game. Wait a minute, no. But we can have fun with it.
Yeah, if you see something weird, that counts as breaking it.
Right.
Okay.
Well, let's put it to you this way: is that just don't think we just do shows. This beta code has already been out on test at Interium. It is also on test at many other locations around the United States. Some of our test locations, because we test an awful lot of stuff. Right. You will find out that this year at Expo, we're going to have kind of a nice little thing. We're going to have the Bumper Blast Party at Interium, which is an outside location. It's actually American Pinball's test location. So what we love to do is if we get a new product, whatever, we throw it in the machines there, and then we let the public beat on it so that we know if it's life tested correctly. There's a lot of testing that has to go on. I mean, home testing, that's nice, but you gotta remember that's retirement life in my world. My world is, coin op, right? So when it goes into the house, it gets played on the weekends, it gets played on nights. When it's in Interium, it's on Monday through Monday, 8 to 12 hours, getting beat on by the general public. And I want to make sure that's the best product that I can give you guys. Because I build these things as equipment for coin op. And for you, the homeowners who love that great machines. Is Mr. Houdini is right there. So I have a gift for him. We're going to give away some other prizes. He's one of our original customers, and he's wore his Houdini shirt today, which we're going back into production with that. So he gets a beautiful, nice Houdini playfield print. So I also we're going to ask some Q&A. We're going to talk about a little bit about what else is going on at American. But we have some questions, and I got some prizes. I got some goodie bags up here to give away because I like to give stuff away. As Ryan calls me what'd you call me the other day?
Oprah.
The Oprah of pinball. Everybody gets a... No, I'm not going to say
No
that.
way.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to go down that road, Jeff. Thank you. All right, Ryan, do you have a question for the group? We'll give away a bag.
I'll do it first.
Go ahead, Steve.
You can think. I'll give you some thinking time.
Give me some thinking time.
All right. So, Legends of Valhalla. This one you might have needed to either play the game or seen enough of the marketing. So we'll see if they've actually seen this.
Okay.
All right. How many legend battles are there in Legends of Valhalla?
Total?
Who said 16 as the winner?
Come on up. You can get a goodie bag, or you can have a print. Choose wisely.
All right. So at least we know people are seeing it. So all right. Or he made it all the way through.
Give me a goodie bag. Here we go.
We've only had it for like 3 weeks.
16 at 4 different levels.
Oh, there we go.
There we go.
You can't ask the second one, a follow-up
Right.
question.
Can't ask that one. Well, you already won. So.
All right. So, awesome. Yeah. Okay.
Not that one. No, we're not doing that.
We'll give him a keychain.
No.
All right. What? Got another question, Ryan? Did you figure?
Of the 4 American Pinball machines, which 2 of them feature the American Pinball monkey mascot?
Ooh, good question. Go ahead. No. Blue shirt in the backpack with the hat. Yes, thank you. Come on up. Come on up.
Nice shirt, by the way.
Oh, wait a minute. He's wearing a Sonic shirt? I don't know about that.
Sus.
All right. Would you like a bag, or you want a poster? What would you like?
Poster.
He'll take a poster.
Poster. There you go.
Very good. All right, let's ask another question. Or, you know what, if we want, anybody have a question for us and the team, I will try to answer it as best I can. Just go up to the microphone that's in the corner there. You can ask the question. Remember, this is Massachusetts, and Massachusetts state law says everything is being recorded, so whatever you say, please keep it honorable and clean.
Hello. Yes. Is this thing on?
Now you tell me.
I have a statement, not a question.
Oh, no.
I
Another one of
received a
these.
text from Christopher Franchi. And he says,
No,
to please let David Fix know to pay him more money.
I pay him what he's
That is all.
worth.
I'll
I
get
pay
in on
him what
that.
he's worth. No, Chris is a good friend. All right. Do you have a statement on that one, Brian?
No, I'm good.
No, you're good?
No, I didn't say anything.
Franchi's a good friend. Should have told me what to say. I would have said it for you. All right, we have another question. Go ahead. Come on up.
I was wondering if you could tell us how long it takes for you to develop a pinball, from original idea development to off the assembly line.
Very good question. So, currently, we are working on a 12-month cycle, okay? So it's 12 months from concept to development. Now, we do have many games in development to make sure we meet the criteria of our next launch and so forth. So we are currently doing very well with that. When we walked in the door a year ago, we were kind of scrambling a little bit, but we are now in a better place. Now, I will also say, everybody says, why are you not released the next game already? And I will just tell you that I owe it to the American Pinball customers who bought the limited edition of Legends of Valhalla to get their game first. Then I will bring out the next game. I'll be very close. Current production schedules, we should be done with it shortly. So those people who are patiently waiting, you will be getting your games probably the next month, 2 months, and then we'll wait to see what happens. So, Mr. Sprite?
Do you guys have the license for Sonic locked up?
Oh, no, I knew it was coming, and I'm going to point out something. If you were at yesterday's homebrew thing, we kind of talked about it, interesting about how you develop games, and you might go into all this development, tell the IP, and you do all this promotional stuff because you're a home brewer. You run the risk of somebody going, I want that IP. And unfortunately, that's what we did. But I will tell you this, and Ryan, you can jump in here. When we didn't have the IP, I wasn't worried about it because I wasn't hiring the IP. I was hiring Ryan McQuaid. And I wanted that designer not just because of his game. I wanted him for his creativity.
Yeah, I'll actually speak to that a little bit. So, everyone has been following like that little bit of, drama as it comes out and on various podcasts and everything. It's all common knowledge now. I think I've told this story already, but as it happened, I just got the call in the morning. It's like we didn't get the license. Sorry, that's unfortunate. No, we were looking forward to putting out your game as is, whatever. And then the very next day, I got a surprise meeting with David and the CEOs of American Pinball, and I'm like, oh great, what could go wrong? And but no, it actually went the entire opposite direction. They called me in. They took an entire half an hour out of their days. And if you've ever tried to get even 5 minutes of David's time, that should say something. Just to make sure that I knew that I was part of the American Pinball family. I wasn't going anywhere, and no license meant anything to them. They said everything happens for a reason. We got you for a reason. We wanted you. We wanted your ideas. We wanted you on our team. And we want you to not be worried that this has any impact on your career. And I actually cried in a business meeting. So there it is. So big thank you to American Pinball, not only for giving me a shot and for being the first one to ever call me. David called me way back before Virtual Expo. He saw my video before it went live. And we've been talking ever since then. But also just for making me feel so quickly like part of an actual family. It's amazing. It's completely amazing.
So, thank you, Ryan. Listen, I don't know how to say this. 2010, 2011, I was helping with Expo, and I was helping with Jerry and P-Rock, and I was also helping with Aaron and Fast Pinball, to the point that at Expo, I wanted to promote and help the homebrew people in 2010, and we continue to help them all the time, because I see the future is got to come from somewhere, right? And here's the nice thing. We went out and hired Dennis, and Dennis says, I'm an old man, but I need to teach somebody all these, all
That's
this
a really
stuff.
good impression.
Okay, that was good. All right.
I need to teach them all this stuff I know, if I can remember it. But anyway, Dennis is excited about that. And I tell you, there was one other person we brought on the team that was very excited about doing this, and it pained me the most was Barry Osler. Barry is one of the quickest guns in the business. And Ryan was in town, and we were at a business breakfast meeting when I got the call. And then about a minute, we got out of breakfast fast, and Steve came into my office, and we had a moment. And then I called Barry's wife, and she gave me the news that we had lost Barry. And it was tough, but Barry Osler was considered by most as the quickest gun in the industry. And he was, and he still is. The man developed 6 games for Deep Root in 3 years. He developed a game for us in 6 months, and I'm happy to say that we will be bringing his game shortly to the market. It won't be the next one, but soon in the market we will see Barry's very last game. And we made sure that the contracts were written right so that Barry's widow will receive the normal royalties that are due to them. So we're taking care of Barry and his wife, and we've also donated some stuff, some prizes and stuff for their charity events that we've had for them. So we give back to the community. I want to continue to do that.
And I mean, I'm glad to be going to be involved in this game heavily. So when Barry and I talked about, before we were going to end up at American, and I had a discussion with him about the game he wanted to develop. And he's saying things like, I trust you with the rules. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do and all that. And then it happened, and that was definitely a frozen moment in time when Barry's wife called me and gave me the news, and I'm in the office, and I'm like, because I'm expecting him to come up, we're going to kick butt, and it's going to be awesome, and then,
I had literally talked to Barry the week before, and I was saying, I'm going to be in the office next week with Ryan. Would you like to come up? And he says, no, I have some treatments that I have to do that, unfortunately, this company that I work for kind of cut everything out from underneath him. So everything got kind of put on hold for him to get treatments, and then when he got back with us, he could start doing it. Unfortunately, it was a little too late. And Barry was excited the week before. He was like, listen, I can't come up this week, but let me come up in April. Let me come up in May. Can we get a whitewood? Can we get this done? And, I didn't mean to take this whole seminar down, but listen, Barry was a great guy, and
hey, but we're doing it. We're doing
his
That's
game.
all.
We're gonna get it.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm working on it too.
Yeah.
And Ryan
Guys
jumped
on
in
it.
on it, so this is going to be great for everybody. Let's ask another question. Do we have another question?
I got a rules-based one. If you want to go.
I'll do a rules.
Go ahead. All right, you go.
All right. How many shots does it take to complete the race in Hot Wheels?
Nice.
Ooh. 12. First hand up there.
First hand.
Didn't even wait for me to call on him, but it was first hand. Jordan, get up here.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Jordan. All right, I'll ask a question. I've asked this a bunch of times, but I don't know how many people remember it. What was the original code name for Legends of Valhalla?
Nice.
Huh? You're right. It was Rampage. Congratulations. Come on up. Rampage was on the play field, and I thought, well, what better way to throw all the pinball geeks into craziness by calling it Rampage, because they'll think, oh, it's the Midway game with Godzilla and all the rest of them. No, they're in there already. Yeah. Come. So, okay. We still got some more prizes. You guys have anything else? Another question?
Yeah, I have one. I'll ask the general version of this, and then if we need help, then I'll get more particular. What do you have to do to reach Valhalla in Legends of Valhalla?
Ooh. What do you have to
we
do?
don't know.
At the end. I was going to say die in battle.
No, in the game, not in the lore.
Die in battle.
In the game. What do you have to do in the game? Well, that's true. Okay, let's get more game specific then. All right. I'll have it be a numerical again, just so it could be easier. All right, so let's see whose first hand shoots up for this one.
Okay.
All right. And it's not 12. How many tasks of a Viking do you have to complete to get to Valhalla? That's correct.
That is correct. Come on up.
And you could look at the game and see that. So.
You're going that way. Awesome. All right. Any other questions for American Pinball? Come on, guys. This is your chance. Nobody's asked me the $1 million question, which I will not answer, by the way.
All right.
Yes, sir.
So I really enjoyed doing the streaming Hot Wheels competition.
Sure.
When it came around, are you all planning to do another kind of session like that with other games?
Yes. And did you win anything through that? Okay, cool. Very good. Another question? Come on up. You guys working on another trivia?
I'm thinking about something.
I'm thinking about something.
Okay,
Something
go ahead.
that's non-role
Question.
based.
Sure.
Was it Stern?
Huh?
Was it Stern?
Was it Stern?
We don't know.
Yes, we heard the podcast.
We
heard
don't know.
Uh-huh.
We honestly don't know
We
to
don't
this
know.
date.
I mean, they're
All right,
teasing it, but we
I
don't know.
will just tell you this, that when I went, and I think this answer would have been answered if Christopher Franchi would have released the podcast that is due already.
You still didn't do that?
Okay.
What did I waste my night for? Come on.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, okay, good. He'll probably say, "Did he pay me yet?" You know, that kind of thing. All right, so we went to get the license, of course, and as we're getting the license, we were told somebody else has jumped in here. We went very aggressively after the license all the way up to Japan to the owners of Sega, and they came back to us, thanked us very much, and told us we're giving it to somebody else. And I said, "You can't tell me who." They said, "No, but can you at least tell me, was it Stern?" They said, "No, it was not." So, now, I don't think it's Jack at JJP, because we have our own inside sources at JJP. So I know there's a couple other things going on. So yes.
Hi. Okay. I like to ask the really weird questions. If you remember me from the soapbox derby of Expo.
Okay. Never forget you, darling.
Yes. So the next weird question I have is, and we can make it American Pinball specific to fit our seminar today. If you were going to lose a finger repairing a pinball machine, which finger would it be and on what neck?
The one I already lost? Is that what we're talking about? No.
Left ring finger, Doctor Who center.
Oh, that
Just
was,
chop
okay,
it right
that
off.
was mine. Oh, okay.
But which American game? What neck?
Okay.
It's an upcoming game. You can let me know too. That's fine.
Yeah, the diverter on our new game. Chop my finger right off.
Thank you for that insider information.
I have a question for you. When is the POG tournament?
We can get pogs like this evening, right?
Figure it out.
Yeah. Find me after this.
One thing you might not know, and this is on Ryan for not doing this, we did have American Pinball Pogs made, and we gave them out at MGC. We were going to do them again for this show, but Ryan, what happened?
Was busy or something.
Uh-huh.
So my title is game designer, by the way. Nobody said anything about pinball. I'm a POG designer. I design POGs.
POG designer.
I do have some of your pogs.
It's because you won them.
I did. Fair and square.
Fair and square.
Very good.
That's right.
Cool.
For honor,
let's
right?
do-
You
let's
must
do-
win them for honor. Yeah.
Anyone but Becker and Jordan. How many American Pinball Pogs were in the first set, if anybody knows? 12. Hands, please. Rude. Not Jordan.
What did you say?
6. That's different.
Put your hand. No.
Wasn't 6.
It's a number. Just throw some out.
3. 4.
24.
Nope. Nope. What? What's a Pog?
Blasphemy.
Oh, somebody said 8. There it is.
That's not true.
It's 10. Oh, Jesus.
Gail, 10. She has ears.
Meanwhile,
I gave up on you as a group.
Hey, right, I'm sitting up here going like this. All right.
She is.
Thank you. Okay, any other questions? Yeah, congratulations for those who are winning. So this is great. Oh, got another question. That's good. Come on down. It's no problem. Hey, listen, we all get there. You're welcome. What'd you get? Which shirt did you get? Oh.
Monkey.
The monkey. No. Yes, sir.
Please forgive me. I haven't played pinball in quite a while. I've been overseas.
Sure.
Last 4 years, I've been in the Philippines. So
Okay.
I've been using the Oculus Quest and playing Pinball FX2. They haven't released the 3 version. So how do you see the virtual reality impacting the physical pinball machines?
All right, let's give that to Ryan and to Steve. Steve's
I can take that
wincing
one, yeah.
at that like.
I can take that one. So I spend a lot of time on my VR unit. We play. Becca, I love you, dear. We need to play some VR chat soon. So we play all kinds of stuff, especially like walkabout mini golf and everything. We've played a little bit of virtual pinball, but honestly, it's just not the same. Like, it's better. It's a step up from your average, just screen with virtual pinball on it. Then you have a proper V cabinet with all the the haptic feedbacks and the nudging sensors and everything. Then if you want to take it a step further, the VR really does put you in the room, but it's still just not the same. It's going to be years and years before VR is ready to replace pinball or even compete with physics, and we can program as humans the most sophisticated physics engine in the world, and we will never be able to get it perfect. So
You're then on the ground floor, is my suggestion.
yeah, especially as VR becomes more affordable and more refined. Now that you can get a Quest 2 for $300, something like that, instead of
$99 or
it used to be $3,000 for a crappier headset. So
Suggestion: real VR fishing.
VR.
Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you.
Now, there are definitely some things that real pinballs do that the VR programs cannot quite do yet. Next is it's the randomness and the spin, right? I mean, like right now, I know that if I play Funhouse for Pinball Effects, I know I'll be able to hold the right flipper up and catch the ball coming out of the right sling, of the right kick out. That's a problem.
Yeah,
Solve that problem.
Right.
Right? If I do that at a tournament game over there down the hall, it may not happen the same way at 3 p.m. than it happens at 8 p.m. or the next day or in the finals.
It's difficult to
That's a big
count
problem.
for stray pieces of dust in,
I mean,
in your simulator.
Pro pinball back in the day tried to do something like that with a dirtiness setting. They tried to put on there to do some rent. Yeah, it was in there. It was like a wear setting. Put in some wear. And they would try to put in some randomness in the patterns, but it was still
dead bugs in the outlanes and
something.
stuff.
But it was still patterned, so you could still find it and get 11 degrillion on it because you can know what you can do and what you can't do. But until you can really simulate the proper randomness, I don't care what VR you're doing. It's not tournament pinball. So
before we get Dave Marston, I'm going to ask a question. What pinball personality in this room is featured on the back glass of Oktoberfest? Who? That guy, right? She's right with the hat there. She did point to Todd Tuckey, but no, Todd wasn't. But he will say that he will say that he was.
Well, you gave me $100.
Moving on. David, you have a question? Come on up.
Yeah,
We'll give you a
keychain for the successful answer. Yeah, come on up here.
Oktoberfest keychain.
Can you give us a progress report on the American Dream Contest?
Okay, American Dream Contest. Yeah, anybody here know what the American Dream Contest is? Okay, this is me making, I guess you call it design maker. Last year at Expo, because of the success of Legends of Valhalla, we had did a seminar, and we basically said, homebrewers, you have 1 year to develop and bring to Expo a game. It doesn't have to be completely finished, but it has to be some kind of concept. Be played by the public. We will have it voted on by the public and by the American Pinball team. And if we like it, we may take your game, negotiate with you, and put it into production. So that was a pretty cool thing. We do have entries already. You can put your entries, or if you want to sign up or get into this, go to dreams@americanpinball.com. It's very simple. And if you want to come work for American Pinball, send an email to dreams@americanpinball.com.
You do.
It comes.
You wanna work
It
for
comes
American
to
Pinball.
me. So I'm the guy that's already. I've already talked about 2 or 3 people here at Pintastic who may be coming back for vacation to come to Pintastic next year because they're already talking about moving to Chicago.
Oh, so they get to use air quotes, but I had to stone face it. Oh, and by the way, don't worry, I'm not entering.
No. Well, the best thing is I made this announcement that we're going to give it, and he stands up, goes, but.
Mine's ready now.
It's ready now. I said,
So,
it's disqualified. And he's like, but. I'm like, disqualified.
So as a little bit of a story, he didn't tell me about the American Dream competition. But I found out when all of you did, and I was mad. I was really mad.
He stood up, his face is red with the mask on. He's like,
I'm like, David, we've been talking for 6 months. Are you going to make me win this stupid competition? Because I will.
You know what? He worked really hard. He gave me 2 more designs right before I hired him, so that was great. Yeah. Question.
So Sonic the Hedgehog, I know, is like a dream theme for you.
Yes.
Fantastic, by the way. I almost got a high score right now.
Thank you very much.
Is there any other dream things that you're thinking about doing or would really love to do?
There's a whole bunch of them. I would never dare say another theme out loud ever again. I've learned my damn lesson.
Well,
Good answer, because who knows? Maybe JJP or Stern might be.
Is Gary Stern lurking underneath these desks right now?
Well, you know what? Hey, why don't you tell them the Gary Stern story at Expo?
Oh yeah, that's wasn't really much of a story.
Well,
he came up and
how he got himself in trouble.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is we're not trashing on them anymore. That's over.
No.
That's over. We're moving on from that.
Yeah.
So Gary Stern actually did play Sonic Spinball at Expo, and I was lucky enough that he actually told me a story while we were playing. It's just one of those moments where like someone you get to meet someone in the industry that you've heard of for ages, and they tell you and only you a story that nobody else knows, and you're like, oh my god, that's so cool. So he told me a story about back when Stern was owned by Sega. And some of you may be familiar with the Sonic the Hedgehog coin roller redemption game. So it's just one of those little games that there's 100 of them like it, where you just put the little token in, it has to land on this little strip, get to the end of it, and if it's right in the center, you get some tickets. If it's not, whatever. So they developed that game, and they're like, oh, we're owned by Sega. Let's make a Sonic the Hedgehog one. That'll be great. And so they did it. They put it out, and they, hey, look, we put out this new game. It's earning great. And Sega went, what is that? We own you. You don't get to use our IP. They never asked for permission from Business Daddy. Like, they never asked. So they got in a ton of trouble, and the production was cut short. They were pretty much done selling them anyway, so it didn't matter. But they asked for forgiveness and not permission. So, just a little story I got told by Gary Stern, and that was actually a really exciting moment at Expo. So,
pretty cool. You have another question?
Well, first off, that makes me think about Miss Pac-Man in Bally Midway when Japan found out Miss Pac-Man was a thing. But the other thing is
Super Auto.
We're really good at making Japan mad, huh? I didn't noticing a pattern. That's all.
They did. Never mind. Go ahead.
The other question is, well, this is the obvious question, really. Fall, is that when we're going to be able to see the next game coming out?
That's what I've said. Fall
Oh, I came
is
in late.
yeah. No, it's okay. Fall is what I'm shooting for. Yes. And I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to do another street launch. Okay. So everybody knows what a street launch is from American Pinball. I did it for Legends of Valhalla. A street launch is locations in the United States that are picked at random under strict NDAs. They get the game 2 days before the announcement, and then the game shows up and is announced with their locations so that people across the United States can go and play it. So, and locations in New England are just as eligible. I will tell you that American Pinball and myself, this was my call. I made a lot of calls on this, but this is my call. We gave back to the operator and the community to the point that I made these locations stars, and I also didn't charge them the first 6 months for the game, so that they could make money and bring people back in. It's a big gift, okay? And, you know, operations and locations that don't treat gifts correctly, they're not going to be used in the future, okay? But for the most part, all the people that were there who participated got a machine, got 6 months later, I asked them to pay their bill, which is pretty good, and they got all the people rolling in, standing in line at Jack Bar in New York or down in Pinball, Bill Disney, what was that, Pinball Gallery. Pinball Gallery in Pennsylvania. Our buddies down at Bang Back Bar, Entertainium. There's a couple places out in West Coast. You know, so there's going to be a lot of places when we do a street location, but that whole thing is, this is when it's going to hit. I'm not going to tease you and say, hey, check out this great video and come back to me in 2 weeks. I'll let you know. And then I'm not going to show it again to you in 2 weeks and show you another video and say, guess what? Here's a little bit more of it, but we'll wait for a stream in another 2 weeks. No, I'm just going to say, here's the game. Go play it. Enjoy it. If you want it, call us.
I'll try to make sure we got a New England location for that. I won't forget you guys.
We know someone with some connections? Good. Go ahead, Steve.
Not to be a party pooper, but I have 3 minutes to get to the other end of the hall.
Go right now. Go right now.
Fantastic Silver Ball Rumble. The stream is probably running, and it'll probably running for the rest of the day. So
for a keychain, what position is Steve in? Don't say it. You don't say it. What?
He's in a bind.
He's way behind. I'll give you one for that.
All right, Steve, go play. Represent American Pinball.
Good luck, buddy.
Go. Steve's a great guy.
I don't know if you ever played against him. He doesn't need luck.
No. You know what? Bringing Steve Bowden on was probably one of the best things that we ever did. Rules maker, guy who sits there and analyzes and thinks about things, can actually visualize the gameplay as it's coming about. I mean, it's just been great to have him part of the team. He's working great with the rest of the team for what he's doing. I'm really excited. He's been working on Legends of Valhalla with Frank and just perfecting that game. Michael Grant did that for about 6 months before he defected, I'll just say, which is no problem. Michael's a great guy, you know, all the power to him. We brought Steve in, and Steve's, you know, stepped right up, and he's actually going to be stepping up a little bit more. He's going to start doing some programming for us. So to see, you know,
he already has started.
Yes, I know. So he's working on some stuff. So this is great. You know, Steve's not only that, he's I consider him the ambassador for pinball because he's always doing these great fun with bonuses. He's going to become the substitute teacher on Jack Danger's stream. So when Jack can't get to do his thing because he's tied up at Stern, Steve's going to take over as the substitute teacher that night and show people games, Stern or whatever. Listen, this hobby is too small not to recognize all these guys. I will just say that American Pinball was very happy to have a party on the night of JJP's launch and go and support them at Interium. And
congrats on that launch, by the way. Mark's over here.
Yeah, we brought 10 people out from the front office, and we had dinner that night, and we were on the game. We helped them. We just loved to see everything, and then I brought 5 more people the next day that couldn't make it. So, listen, we're all family. We all love pinball. We just have to work at it, So this is a good thing. So, any other questions?
Yeah, how are we doing on time?
How are you on time, David?
We're getting close to the end.
Okay.
Oh.
You got a last minute question? Run up here.
Last minute question.
I've got one more, just on this the rollout here.
Yeah.
For the next game, is that strictly for arcade type operations, or would you do a street operator?
I'll do a street operator, but it has to be open to the public. I want the public to know where it is and that they can go play it and they know on that day. Also, there are tons of we don't have them here, but they're at the booth. So go over to Maine Home Recreation's booth. You can get a copy of the Pin Game Journal. That was the magazine that tells the entire story on how Legends of Valhalla came to be. It has a story from the designer. It has a story from the mechanical engineer, who is Zofia Ryan, who was the mechanical engineer for Doctor Who and Ryan's finger chopping device.
That's why I chose it.
Zofia is a pioneer
Clean mech.
in the industry as one of probably the first woman to break the glass ceilings at Williams to become a mechanical engineer, and then now director at American Pinball. So she's taking care of everybody there. Smart woman. Definitely needed people in the industry. And again, dreams at American Pinball. If you guys want a job, throw it out there. You have a question?
One last question. I was wondering if you could tell us which one of the pinball machines that you have in your collection is your favorite.
Oh.
You'd have to remember all the games he has first.
Well, I have an API. I have a Hot Wheels. I have 150 some odd pins. So I mean, I don't have that one, but I do love love Theater of Magic. That is a really good game. First game that my wife and I ever bought was Pinbot and the Bride of Pinbot. So that's a nice little marriage couple. They're still there. I own those. I don't know. I love Ghetto. I mean, listen. There's. Every designer to do the Steve Ritchie speech. I have a favorite game from every designer that designed pins, and I own one of those.
It really is like that. I have a much smaller lineup than David. I think I have 5 in my living room and a couple strewn across the U.S. at this point. And a pitch and bat. Actually, no. That is a new owner in the back there, Ryan Russell. So I'd say the favorite one that I have in my lineup is Total Nuclear Annihilation. Scott is a wonderful human being, and he was one of the original inspirations for me kind of being like, this is possible. People have done it before me. And people like at all levels have done it. It's possible. And they took a great homebrew, made a great game, and I am addicted to it, and it's bolted to my floor. So, and that's sitting right next to a Twilight Zone, which is like just another level of complexity. So
yeah, it's very complex and also very expensive, if I'm not mistaken. It costs
that's
you
right.
3 times more than what normal people would pay for it because you had to rebuild it from the ground up. Any other questions? If not, thank you. Any Oktoberfest owners in the room?
Already has a keychain.
Anybody else? You can have a keychain. Who else would like a keychain? I got 2 more. You and the young lady in the back who asked the last question. Okay. Thank you, guys.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you for your support of American Pinball. And we'll be back again next year at Pintastic. David's excited about that. And, also, when Mr. Tucky wakes up over there, make sure you ask for a nice signature.
I was going to give a keychain to whoever woke him up, but now it's too late.
Yes. But Todd's a great guy, too. Watch TNT.
Make sure you check out all of our games in the vendor hall, and I believe they're going to be going into the free play room after the vendor hall closes. Is that correct?
Very good.
Awesome.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all so much.